Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. In the event that you haven't been keeping up, here's the Blac Chyna. A model and reality star is suing Kim, Khloe, Kris, and Kylie for in excess of $100 million guaranteeing slander. Blac Chyna's criticism claim against the Kardashians is starting off on an exceptionally untidy foot. The claim started on April 18th with jury choice, and simply 7 days into the preliminary, there's now a ton of tea being spilled in court as per Kris Jenner's court declaration. Chyna didn't simply make bogus cases about the Kardashians plotting to drop her unscripted TV drama, yet she really attempted to kill Blac and Kylie. On Thursday, April 21st, Kris Jenner stood up in Los Angeles court and made a few stunner allegations against Blac Chyna. Kris got profound while discussing a 2016 contention among Chyna and burglaries, and he guaranteed that Chyna attempted to kill Loot. While Kris didn't observe the contention herself, she said that she was informed that Chyna pointed a firearm at Rob's head, attempted to choke him with a telephone rope, and hit him with a metal post while inebriated. It was terrifying. Kris said, adding that Chyna putting a firearm in a burglar's head was not a joke. He was a wreck. Kris reviewed it. I could hardly comprehend how he felt this was horrendous. I was crushed. Kris likewise shared that what made the entire circumstance significantly more lamentable for her as a mother was the way that Chyna and Burglariz's fight happened only a couple of months after Kim's Paris burglary, while Loot's circumstance was going on. Kim had quite recently been managing Paris. Kris said he had a firearm put at his head and she was held at gunpoint and tossed into a bath. That is a great deal to take as a mother. Kris likewise guaranteed that it was her beau Corey Bet who in the middle among Blac and Chyna after Chyna crushed a costly television in the main room at Kylie's home, and when Corey attempted to isolate them and asked Burglarize to leave, Kenya supposedly crushed a seat on the windshield of Loot's vehicle. Kenya's legal counselor Lindsay then asked Kris, "How come nobody called the police?" And Kris said her security group is comprised of previous lapped officials, and they diffused the circumstance. Kris additionally denied plotting to get Loot and Kyenya's unscripted TV drama dropped and asserted she really attempted to assist Chyna with propelling her profession. "We didn't put Chyna on the show and give her this impressive life to be removed." Kris said, "We set out other open doors. I was confident that it would be okay, which is why I didn't consider the police." Chyna's legal counselor likewise got some information about an instant message sent from Kris's telephone to a Rob and Kylie maker that read, "Chyna, beat it out of the burglar's face." And Kris said she utilized the expression as a saying. She then, at that point, proceeded to contrast her portrayal of Chyna's quarrel and Loot with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock during the Oscars function. "It's like you're at an honor show and you get slapped," Kris said, yet Kris didn't stop there. She likewise guaranteed that at one point, Chyna threatened her most youthful little girl, Kylie Jenner. As per page 6, Kris affirmed that she was frightened quite a while back when Kylie and her then-boyfriend Tyga enlightened her concerning Chyna compromising them. Kris likewise guaranteed that Tyga let her over and over know that Chyna attempted to go after him with a blade. "Obviously, it was disturbing, yet we just kept it locked down," Kris said, adding that the family decided not to report the supposed dangers to the police. They lived across the road and Chyna had a small child. "I think we were more worried about the Tyga circumstances." Kris was subsequently found out if she was stressed over burglarizing dating the one who purportedly compromised Kylie, and Kris answered, "I didn't have a very remarkable response. There was only a ton of show, and I'm used to that in my family. It happened so quickly and we didn't have the foggiest idea where their relationship was planned to go." Kris made sense of it, but it wasn't so much that I wasn't worried. They had a rough relationship all along, but I love renewed opportunities, and I maintained that they should win. I simply believed my child should be blissful. Kris added that I needed to win for them. "You should stay cautiously optimistic and continue on anyway." Chyna's legal counselor then got some information about a supposed discussion among Kris and an organization leader about Kris not being content with Loot and Chyna's relationship. Kris then conceded she could have offered something negative contingent upon the day, making sense of the fact that there were a ton of high points and low points in Burgess and Chyna's relationship. "Yet, I truly needed Chyna to develop and be her best self," Kris added. Hailey likewise stood up after her mom and affirmed she was worried about the robber's security, since she had heard Chyna can get more forceful when impaired than liquor. "I felt it was my obligation to communicate my interests in any case. It depended on him." Kylie said, adding that burglars didn't pay attention to her admonitions. Kylie likewise affirmed that Tyga recounted her dim accounts of his experience with Chyna and showed her a 6-inch blade scar he guaranteed Chyna gave him while utilizing liquor. Kylie likewise said that despite the fact that Chyna had gotten to know her sister Kim before she began dating Ransack, she never viewed her as a companion of the family, and when inquired as to whether she felt furious toward Chyna, Kylie addressed it, presumably after I caught wind of the assault on my sibling as per Drifter. Kylie was totally quiet during her declaration, and she took as much time as is needed to respond to inquiries in a relaxed manner. Eventually, do you accept that Chyna truly compromised you in any capacity? Chyna's legal counselor asked, and Kylie's answer genuinely undermined me. I recall one time I awakened to certain messages from Chyna, a few undermining messages. Better believe it from what I recall that she sent me a lot of villain emoticons and expressed something as per, like counting during the time to either beat me, or I don't know precisely the exact thing she implied anyway. Kylie said that these messages were on an extremely old telephone, so she no longer has them, and she likewise affirmed that she didn't report the dangers to the police. I accepted it as an unfilled danger. Truly, Kylie made sense of Tyga. Communicated to me a ton about spices with the liquor, so I really expected she was presumably high since I got the text truly promptly in the first part of the day. Chyna's legal counselor then, at that point, inquired as to whether she was concerned her sibling planned to have a child with a lady who supposedly cut Tyga with a blade, and Kylie replied when I found out about the slicing it was way before the pregnancy. So no, it wasn't to me at the time. Did you invite Chyna into the family around what? And you discovered that she would have been having a child with your sibling, the legal counselor, Kyard, what's more? Kylie addressed, did I invite her? No doubt. I feel that we had an okay relationship for some time. I really needed to be cool with Chyna. I felt like I invested a ton of energy in her child, and in spite of all that, I truly believed it should turn out for my sibling. Kylie then, at that point, made sense of the fact that she lost her persistence after Chyna crushed a television at her home during a squabble with loot that occurred on the morning of December 15, 2016. Chyna recently affirmed that she never contacted Ransack and just harmed the entryway on television in light of the fact that Loot had taken her telephone and secured himself in a storeroom with it anyway. Kylie affirmed that the burglar told her that Chyna had genuinely gone after him. I recall my sibling telling me that Chyna held a weapon to his head. She choked him with an iPhone rope. Kylie said, I think he was illuminating me that my entryway was harmed and my television, and that Chyna had been drinking a great deal and perhaps taking a few medications. That is everything he said to me. I mean, he utilized the words she was attempting to use to kill me. That is what he shared with me. Kylie proceeded, and I expected no doubt that it was a passing battle. Assuming somebody's maxim, she was attempting to kill me. That is what I accept. Yet I don't think he said those words. Chyna's legal counselor likewise inquired as to whether she naturally suspected Chyna's adoration for Loot was phony. Did I think her affection was phony? Kylie answered. I recall most certainly feeling like that after my sibling let me know what happened that evening. I didn't have the foggiest idea how someone could do that to someone and love them. Kylie then, at that point, implied that Chyna was presumably envious of Kylie's relationship with Tyga and utilized burglarizing to get back at her. Before that occurrence, did you accept that Chyna's adoration for your sibling was veritable? The legal counselor asked, and Kylie said, I just felt like perhaps me dating the dad of her kid had something. Perhaps she was simply with my sibling for different reasons I don't have a clue about. That is only my perspective. So your viewpoint all along was that you accepted that Chyna was simply getting along with your sibling Loot in a spirit of meanness. I was not expecting what my sibling Kylie said, except for the manner in which you felt the legal advisor endured, which Kylie addressed, perhaps concerning fans' responses to these new disclosures in Chyna's claim against the Kardashians. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.